Luke here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and welcome to the west coast of Alaska. I'm camping in one of the most remote parts of Alaska in order to find walrus ivory. A dead walrus washed up on the beach after a storm, and it's a race against time for me to get there before the bears or someone else does first. While I'm here, I'm also going to be keeping an eye out for washed up antiques, and I'm going to be searching the tundra for caribou antlers. And I have to do it all while watching my back for big grizzly bears. Just got a text message from my buddy Gabe out west. Says he just found a walrus. Looks like I'm going walrus hunting. As soon as you call, I'm like Googling how much does a walrus head weigh? A huge difference. Yeah. All right. I like you're cool back. Oh. With my luggage. All right, Gabe, I'll be in touch, man. I think. I just got dropped off on the shores of the Bering Sea, about 2-hour flight from the nearest town. There are tons of grizzly bears in this area, and just like me, they're walking up and down the beach looking for dead walruses and seals, and I'm going to be camping and hiking with a big slab of dead walrus on my back. So this is going to be interesting, but I gotta hurry up. I want to get that walrus before a bear does or the tide. First thing I gotta do is get some water. I just realized I forgot to bring any water with me. This trip was so rushed. Luckily I brought a water filter. The water's fresh, but I can tell there's a little bit of salt in it. Oh, look at this. Japanese fishermen used to use glass balls to float their nets. They stopped making these in the 60s. So this thing has been floating in the ocean for at least 60 years until it washed up on this beach. The blue ones are a little bit more rare. Look at this. See, there's the fresh grizzly bear tracks, and you can tell that there's layers of old prints underneath that. Grizzly bears like to walk up and down the same trails over and over again. This bear's been using this trail for a while. I definitely don't want to leave my gear on this trail or I'm going to have bear problems. I got off the grizzly bear trail and I can see another trail going right through here. You can see here the hoof prints. These are all caribou tracks. I've got about 3.5 miles to go down that beach to get to the walrus carcass. So I'm gonna leave most of my gear right here and hope the bears don't find it before I get back. My guess is that as long as I'm back here before nightfall, I should be okay. You know, people tell you all the time, don't leave food in your pack because the bears will get into it. Bears will get into your pack just because it's a funny color or an unusual material. They're like a toddler. They don't need an excuse to destroy something. They'll do it just because they're bored and curious. Oh man, look at these wolf prints. Look at the size of that. That is a big wolf print. I'm keeping my eyes peeled as I'm walking down this beach. I can find all sorts of cool stuff. It's not uncommon to find fossilized woolly mammoth ivory sticking out of the cliffs. More bear tracks. I gotta make sure to look behind me from time to time. Wolves and bears walk a lot faster than I do. And they don't say on your left when they come up from behind. That water's a lot cleaner. I like that water a lot better. Drinking brackish water will help keep you hydrated for a day or two, but it can make you sick. See right there? That's like a seal vertebrae or something right there. Having the longer rope means you're not pulling the nose of the sled off the ground as much. So more of your energy is going forward instead of up. It's a lot more comfortable. That's the shoulder blade of a whale, or the scapula. You're allowed to keep the bones of some species of whale, but other whales are protected and you can't. And I can't tell the difference based on the bones, so I err on the side of not going to jail. I marked down my location when we flew over the Walrus in the plane. I just plugged it into the GPS and it's a little bit further than I expected. It's about 4 miles, which isn't too bad when you're just strolling down a lovely beach on a beautiful day. But walking back with the severed walrus head is going to be a different story. See some interesting stuff over here, so I thought I'd just take a little break and check it out. Look at this. Oh. Look at that. That's a whale vertebrae. It's a big one too. The backbone of a giant whale. Oh, that's a big grizzly bear dookie. My goal on this trip is to not end up looking like that. Oh, a wheeled bush plane just flew over that carcass. I'm not the only one to know about it anymore. Here in the United States, walruses are a protected species. And the only way that I am allowed to harvest walrus ivory is if I find it within a quarter mile of the seashore. Finding a set of walrus ivory tusks is a big deal out here. It's getting a little hot and that rope was digging in my shoulder. 2 miles down, 2 miles to go. I'm determined to get to that walrus before a bear or another person does. Ooh, that's a cool piece of quartz. I'm seeing a lot of cool stones on the beach. There's agates and jade and quartz. That's pretty. Oh, that is a big grizzly bear. And you can see it right next to it. This is a wolf print. They say however many inches across the front pad of the grizzly bear is how many feet long it is. So this is about a 7-inch pad. That means it's 7 feet from nose to tail. So if the bear stands up, he would be about 8 feet tall. That's not a record bear, but that's a good size one. A really big bear will be over 10 feet. I can see the walrus, and there's no grizzly bears. Yes. That is a big animal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He looks like he's over 18 feet long. It's huge. A big walrus could get up to 2,000 pounds. Look at the size of the flippers. I mean, it's just huge. Look at that. Wow. Look how old they are. I don't know what killed this walrus, but those tusks look old, like they've been worn down. And that tooth looks like it's been broken for a while. My guess is this is just an old walrus that lived a full life. But he doesn't look like he's been here for too long. His skin's still pink. They kind of turn purple and black when they start to rot, so could be a lot worse. I love beachcombing, and for whatever reason, I've always wanted to find a dead walrus so I could harvest the tusks and skull and hang it up on my wall. It's weird, I know, but there you have it. Getting that head off that body is going to be a long and disgusting process. So I think I'm going to have myself some lunch before I get started. Always wash your hands after touching a dead walrus. Now I know a lot of you probably don't want to watch me cutting the head off this walrus. It's going to be a little bit icky. So I'm going to try to be tasteful in my editing.
Got some dried golden figs. Love these things.
Well, enough procrastinating. Think it's time to suit up and do the dirty job. I'll be honest, it doesn't smell very good where I'm sitting. And once I cut into that carcass, it's gonna get much, much worse. So I brought along some earplugs. It may look ridiculous, but it's worth it. Feeling cute, might go cut up a walrus, I don't know. This may seem like overkill, but anything that gets rotten walrus on it will not be allowed back into my house. All right, I have never dissected a walrus before. You gotta find the joints. If you try to just smash through these bones, it'll just destroy your axe. There's a bony bit right here. Oh, the jaw goes all the way. Oh, I need to adjust my nose plugs. Oh, get them deeper. Oh, that was bad. That was the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. Oh. My axe is brand new sharp, and I'm barely making a scratch. I'm gonna need to try to cut away this really, really thick skin and blubber so I can see the joints and know where to cut from there. It took me 15 swings of the axe just to pierce the hide a little bit. And I've got to do it all the way around. Whew. Well, I got through the skin, and now I'm just trying to figure out where the walrus's neck is. They're just kind of a giant fat tube, and where the head ends and the body begins is not exactly obvious. So I'm having to cut away pieces and kind of search around, and it's a lot of work. I nicked my glove. Gotta make sure my finger's okay. A little tiny cut, but I'm not sure if it even went all the way through the skin. But I'm gonna go put a band-aid on that real quick and wash it off. It's really common for walruses to have trichinosis, and I don't want to catch any weird diseases. Well, I spent about an hour cutting, hacking, and sawing, and I got the head off. I need to sit down with the knife and cut off as many bits of flesh as I can to lighten the load, because I gotta carry that thing 4 miles. And I don't care how ridiculous these nose plugs look, they're an absolute lifesaver. Oh, my GoPro is never gonna smell the same again. Well, there we go. That only took 4 hours. Whew. I absolutely destroyed my fillet knife. And this shirt. These pants might need to burn as well. Really glad I got that Tyvek suit. I just should have gotten 2 of them. Oh, the head weighed about 90 pounds with the skin on. I removed about 40 pounds of meat and skin. Still pretty heavy, but it's gonna be a lot more reasonable. This whole time I keep looking over my shoulder waiting for a bear to come walking down this beach. I'm just gonna be so glad when I'm heading back to camp. Oh, that is noticeably heavier. But now that I've got my walrus head, I've got to hold on to it. You know, I'm dragging 50 pounds of bear bait behind me. I guess I'm technically trolling for bears at this point. A little break, a little drink, a little snack. Let's do another quarter mile or 2. Oh, my back. Oh, but if I keep taking breaks, I think I can save my back. Tell you, this is exhausting, but what a beautiful day to be exhausted. And not being mauled by a bear is just a real cherry on top. Oh. I'm really anxious to see if any animals mess with my stuff. Probably gonna be okay. Looks like my gear's all here. Yay, I am tired. Oh, there's a hole in the bag and the walrus head just leaked goo all over the sled. I got maybe an hour before it gets really dark, so I'm gonna try to gather firewood. Tell you what, firewood's a lot lighter than walrus heads. Fire doesn't need to be big and scary. It doesn't need to last all night. It just needs to be sending smoke downwind the same direction as that walrus smell. So any bear that picks up the smell of the walrus will also know there's a human here. For most animals around this part, that's all they need to know to stay away. But don't let my confidence fool you. Fire or no fire, there's still a really good chance that we'll get visited in the middle of the night. Most of the time, it won't be a problem, but something we gotta be ready for. Well, got my camp all set up and it's about 4 minutes to midnight. I'm seeing the last little bit of the sun disappear over the horizon. All right, guys, I'm going to sleep. I'll see you in the morning. I'm going to bed. Well, I think I earned myself a very lazy morning, but it's time to get up. Oh, the mosquitoes are fat and juicy this morning. Oh, they had fun with me last night. First thing I want to do is get up on one of these little hills over here and get a little bit of a vantage point. Oh, look at this. I think that's a tern egg, an Arctic tern. See this landscape out here? This is tundra. Most of Alaska's interior looks like this. It's just this soft moss covering everything. The crazy thing is that almost all the plants you're looking at are berry bushes. And in the fall, there'll be crowberries as far as the eye can see. You'll just be walking on them. Oh, look at that. That's a ptarmigan feather if I've ever seen one. I was listening to a whole bunch of ptarmigan call to each other right here last night. I think I want to go hunt that for Japanese glass floats. I'd really like to find some of the more unusual ones, like the really big ones. Look at this one. Oh, this one is broken, but it still has its net. They'd weave the net around it, and that's how they would attach it. Yeah. Oh, it might just be me, but it looks like there's a lot more bear tracks on this beach than there were yesterday. Some places they make swings out of tires. Here in Alaska, you make rope swings out of buoys. This would be a great one for that. Way too late in the season to be viable. It's just probably a rotten, forgotten one. But collecting gull eggs is a big tradition with the native people here in Alaska. Early spring, you can come out into these dunes where they nest and just pick up baskets of eggs. It's a wonderful treat at the end of a long winter. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's a really nice whale vertebrae. It's nice and bleached. Yeah, that's a nice one. I really got to learn my whale identification one of these days. Oh, that's a Yakult bottle. It's a Japanese yogurt drink. Came all the way from Asia. Oh, look at that. Where's your mommy? Well, yesterday worked out pretty well, but I need to boil that walrus head. But I'm gonna need something to boil it in. So Gabe's gonna bring me a drum. And I also forgot my cooking pot, so hopefully Gabe can bring me one when he drops off the drum. Well, I really wanna boil that walrus head, and it's gonna take a lot of firewood to do it, so I better get started. First, I'm gonna need some rocks. All right, that's looking pretty good. I may be biased, but I think float planes are so cool.
I saw.
It wasn't horrible, but oh, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
That is perfect.
To run over there and take a look.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I should have put on my rubber boot.
Get on.
Yippee!
All right.
Gabe thinks he saw another dead walrus over here by the shore, so we're gonna go investigate real quick. This is what, walrus number 4 in a week?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Walruses in 1 week. That's unusual, right?
It is unusual, yeah.
That's definitely a walrus. Yeah, I think that's the head over there. Just grab in there with your hands, fish around. I think it came out a little.
Nice.
Oh. There we go. That's a walrus tusk right there. It's like hollow down to about there, and this part's all solid. Oh, that's heavy. Feels like that weighs 7-8 pounds. That's a lot of work. And that right there is the lower jaw without the teeth. See where he's missing his molars have come out. But look how thick that bone is. That is solid. Oh, I touched that. Oh.
You found them both, right?
Yeah.
You can help. Mission accomplished.
All right, got some vegan ivory. No animals were harmed in the harvesting of this ivory.
Wow, I thought it's a dome. Yeah, you can jump out and jump in the front.
Here, what's the best way
Just
to
jump
recommend?
on.
Okay. 200 pounds, Gabe.
You sure? It's like 220.
Well, I got a lot of stuff in my pockets.
Okay, man. That was awesome.
All right, thanks, Gabe. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Oh man, I couldn't do this without Gabe. Well, I brought my big crab pot, but I do not think that's gonna fit a walrus head. And Gabe loaned me one of his cook pots so I can make some dinner. And he scrounged up a 55-gallon drum. I think we are ready to get cooking. It's really important that I get the skull boiled and as cleaned up as I can before I bring it home. There's been 2 incidences in my past where I have let skulls rot in our garage, and my wife has informed me that there will not be a 3rd one. My wife is a very patient woman and she doesn't ask for a lot. I'm gonna let that boil while I go make some lunch. On a bright sunny day like today, these tents become greenhouses. So if you happen to have wet socks and shoes, you throw them inside the tent while you eat lunch, and in an hour or so, they'll be nice and dry. I got a hearty lunch planned for today because I am hungry. Boiling back rice, can of beanie weenies, and I found this Chinese style bacon at Costco. It's good for about a year without refrigeration.
Tastes good. I'm so hungry.
Nice and dry. Feels good to have an actual meal in my belly. I skipped lunch and dinner yesterday because I was too busy, and I skipped breakfast this morning because I forgot my pot. Let's check on the walrus. There we go. Let's check on the forbidden stew. Well, the walrus is boiling good, and it'll be a couple hours before I need to stoke it. I want to explore the tundra a little bit. Hiking across the tundra on a beautiful day like this is just one of my favorite things. Oh. A little bit of a game trail right here. I'm just going to go ahead and walk these ridges, give me some good visibility and help me catch a nice cool breeze. There's something white over there on the ground. It's the shoulder blade of a moose right there. There's a leg bone. Looks a little big for a caribou, so I'm assuming that's a moose. Whoa. Look at that. Look at that young bear skull. That is so cool. Look over here. There's the lower jaw. Oh, there's a tooth. There's a tooth right there. It's not that common to find predator skulls, and when you do, they're usually either too fresh or too old. There's something down here too. That's a little tiny caribou antler. Might be to a female. Each winter they drop their antlers, and both the males and females have antlers. Some of the caribou antlers are so big I can curl up and take a nap inside them. Little cotton plants. Oh. There you go. That's kind of like an average male rack right there. It's not bad. A little bit rotten. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's a proper caribou antler. Yeah, look at that. I think I'll follow this caribou trail a little bit. Oh, ptarmigan. A whole bunch of ptarmigan right there. Oh, I stepped right in it. Looks all normal. It's water down it. Ah. There's another booby trap. You got to pay attention to the vegetation. This stuff means water. Yeah. All right, got a little lid on there. That should help. I think for the rest of the day, I'm just gonna be stoking that fire and keeping that walrus head boiling. I'll probably end up stoking it once an hour until I go to bed sometime around 11 p.m. Let's see if it's boiling. Yeah, it's boiling a little bit. Some of the places where I cleaned it better, it's starting to see bone. Yeah, I can hear it boiling pretty aggressively. I'll let this do its thing and I'm gonna go get some dinner. Oh, the flies got into that. I had this storing in the cool gravel and it's only been a couple hours, so I figured I could still have it as leftovers, but I didn't put the lid on properly and the flies are all over it. This is the pack board that hunters use to haul out meat. Thought I was gonna have to use it to haul the walrus out. The original walrus we were gonna go after was in a different spot. I was gonna have to strap the head to this pack board and haul it 5.5 miles over land. I am so glad that things turned out the way they did. It's making a pretty decent backrest right now. Not too fancy, but today I'm too tired for fancy. Sweet baked beans and salted rice. Oh, my legs and back are sore. Come back and check it in about an hour. Look at that. I can't read Chinese, but I know a few Chinese characters. I think that's ice and tea.
right, that walrus skull is gonna cook all night, and I'm gonna get some sleep, and I'll see you guys in the morning.
Oh, good morning. I left the mosquito net open and woke up to this. There are some juicy fat mosquitoes in here this morning. One thing about mosquitoes is you get immune to their bites over time. When I was a little kid, I used to get the biggest, itchiest mosquito bites. Now I hardly notice. Still annoying to wake up with one of them in your ear. There's a caddis right there. I think it flew into my ear last night because it was like a lot bigger than the other bugs. And it really, like, what the? It is another beautiful day. I can't believe how calm and sunny it's been. And the ptarmigans are giving me a little serenade over there. Well, let's go check on the walrus head and see how that's doing. I had a bug fly into my eye. Just walking along and had a kamikaze bug fly in my eye. My hands are so dirty I don't want to pick it out. Now there's little bits of them in there deep, but I'll just have to leave it. Luckily it was a mosquito, they're kind of soft. Yep, that is burned out. That's looking better, but still needs a little bit more boiling. And a lot more water. There were so many fresh bear tracks when we showed up. Thought for sure we're gonna have at least one wander into camp, but nope, no visitors. Come on, flies, out of my breakfast. They love the hot chocolate, apparently. All right, got breakfast in me. I think it's time to clean this place up a little bit. Well, Gabe's gonna pick me up. I need to go get to the shore. Hey, Gabe's a little early, awesome. Good morning, Gabe. Yeah, it's still got a bit of goo on it, but it smells a load better. I might be just been around it for too long, but it's starting to smell like soup. There's the jawbone.
I'm sitting right. It's like totally normal, like.
That's pretty gross. I've got some little twist ties. That thing will take care of some.
All right.
Oh, I love that I'm filming this too. Oh gosh. Yeah, we got it.
I don't know. Wait.
And if you ask them a question behind the desk, and he's like,
See you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you in a few days. Yeah.
So it's been a week and me and Tommy were in Dillingham on a float trip and we're gonna pick up that walrus head.
Zip tie. That smells great. It smells so bad. No one has to know.
All right. Got it?
Whoa, that is huge. That's cool.
See you, Gabe.
Pleasure.
See ya.
Okay. Hey,
We're on the plane. Don't accidentally scrape anything.
Working up.
All right. Oh, look at that. That is looking really clean. Yeah, some teeth came out, but I saved them all. It's smelling a lot better too. 12% hydrogen peroxide. I diluted the hydrogen peroxide down to about 3%, and we'll just let that sit for a little bit. Well, for the last 2 weeks, I've been soaking the skull in Dawn dish soap and hydrogen peroxide, and it's come along pretty well. But it still has a little bit of a smell to it. These little grease spots here and there. But now that it's not super gross, I can take it over to the federal fish and game officers to get it registered. So I'm gonna go do that today.
And by the look.
Welcome.
Can you grab the bag and the 2 bits of ivory?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we're gonna go take this in to get registered. I'm gonna leave the camera behind. Yeah, lay that down. All right, we registered all the walrus parts. They drill a little hole in the top of the ivory and they put a little tag on them. This one's got one too. And you'll still be able to fit this back inside. Question, if you want. But that walrus skull still has a bit of a smell. I think I'm gonna take that skull to a professional and see if they can give me any advice or help me get it to the next level. Well, it's been about a month and I'm gonna go pick up the walrus head, and I've brought Becca along to make sure that it meets her approval.
Your destination is on the right.
Hi, Russell.
Nice to meet you,
Nice.
man. So I've been in this shop for 47 years. So here's the walrus. It's okay. Smell that.
I don't smell anything.
I don't smell anything. Start right there. Starting in the nose.
You try it.
Oh yeah, that definitely doesn't smell like walrus. That smells almost like bleach or like chemical or ozone.
Okay, so that smells to me like ozone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's very kind
Yeah,
of
thank
you.
Nice to meet you guys and have you in my shop.
Hey, thank you.
I'll be looking for all your new episodes.
Well, you happy with that?
Yeah, they did a really good job. That was really nice of them.
Took a long time, but there you go. I need to build a shelf or something and put it up on the wall. But I think I'm just gonna keep it on my desk for a little while. Look at that thing. Ah, that is so cool. It's what every man needs. A giant animal skull on their desk. So, pretty happy with that. If you like that video, make sure to check out the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos just like this. And if you want to see our newest adventures, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.